What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Knightsman Channel. What we got today is 23 minutes of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm going to have a little bit of gameplay here, which is going to be awesome because we know that this game is right around the corner. Literally, I think it's about a week, maybe a little bit more, until it pops out on the shelves and we can actually pick up a copy. But I'm super excited because the first one was phenomenal. It was so good, and I know that this one here is going to be relatively, hopefully on the same sort of par with what we're expecting, so should be pretty good. And I'm super excited. I can't wait. So it's good to, get into a little bit of this gameplay before we actually get it, because we're going to be booting it up relatively soon. So I want to know what's going on. We're going to, pick a little bit at the detail and the characters, the environments, share our opinion on what we think the game is so far, of what we've seen, felt and heard, just really get that out of perspective, ready to go before the game actually launches. So it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll add that value to you, seeing if it's worth it or not, but I'm telling you right now, it is going to be worth it. So stick on through, bounce some ideas off each other, and just enjoy this gameplay footage. But definitely make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, bell notification, and definitely comment down below if you're going to get this game. But apart from that, I think we crack straight into it. So without further ado, let's go! Let's go! Alright, 23 minutes. Let's go. Alright, here we go. Oh, I wish this came out when PS5 did, because I don't know if PS4 is going to be able to handle this. Alright.
I know you wish things were different.
Oof. The environment. Very colourful. Love how that sun's popping out.
I wish things were different.
You know me.
Ellie!
I'm so story driven, so this is going to be mind blowing.
But they ain't.
Zombies are so vicious.
Please stop!
Naughty dog! Damn, bruised and battered.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Look at that, just so immersive. How real does that look?
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with
Dark
this?
and brutal.
How'd you find us?
You can't stop this.
See, that was ridiculous.
I want what you want. But not at any cost.
Right. 23 minutes of this?
I really hope you make it.
Yes. That looks real. That looks so real. It must be so strong living in their environment.
I have to finish it.
There's a cost.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
Love it. How they've got a strong female character as a lead. It's good change.
I'm Neil
It's good.
Druckmann, Vice President of Naughty Dog and the Director of The Last of Us Part 2. We're just a few weeks away from launch on June 19th, when the game will finally be in your
19th.
hands. The wait has been long, and we're extremely grateful for your patience, especially now in the midst of these unprecedented and challenging times. We hope you're all taking care of yourselves and that you, your friends, and your loved ones are doing well.
Have some water up in
Because
here.
of these extraordinary circumstances, we can't be together in this final stretch and share the experience like we usually would. So today we're trying something different. Something we've never done
Alrighty.
before. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to give you an in-depth look into what awaits you in The Last of Us Part
This is what we
2.
want.
including new details about the gameplay experience and story. And to cap it all off, we'll be showing a never-before-seen, lengthy gameplay sequence. You'll definitely want to stick around for that.
Whoa!
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. They were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her.
The Last of Us Part 2 picks up Ellie and Joel's story several years after the events of the first game.
Damn, it's been a while.
Ellie and Joel have settled in Jackson, Wyoming, amongst a thriving community of survivors. With the threats of the world kept outside the town's walls, Jackson has been able to find relative peace and even stability.
Good.
Ellie is now 19, lives on her own, and has been able to forge lasting relationships within the community.
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our kiss from last night?
However, this peace is short-lived. Jackson and Ellie suffer a violent and traumatizing event. Ellie sets off back into the treacherous outside world in search of retribution and justice.
Yeah, it's a bit of revenge.
Her journey will take her to new parts of the country previously unexplored in The Last of Us. The story spans multiple seasons and climates, from the snow-capped mountains of Jackson to the lush Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, good environments.
Each introduces a wide range of exterior and interior environments for you to navigate and explore, rendered in meticulous detail and unprecedented scale with the latest iteration of the Naughty Dog engine.
Good.
Our goal was to make these environments not only
Very
beautiful,
dark.
but feel as grounded and authentic to the cities they're based on as possible. Much of the story unfolds in what remains of Seattle, a massive former quarantine zone. Its locales are incredibly diverse, spanning a dense city center with a skyline of towering high-rises to the beautiful suburbs and stormy waterfronts that surround it. The city exhibits drastic shifts in architecture, elevation, and weather. And with Part 2, we've introduced new traversal mechanics that afford greater exploration and ways to navigate threats. Ellie is not only able to climb and jump over gaps, but she can use ropes to scale vertical terrain or swing over obstacles, allowing you to discover new areas, resources, and side narratives.
Alright, a little bit of...
These more open environments also create new strategic considerations in combat, whether it's to get the jump on enemies or bypass them entirely.
You don't want to be jumping down there.
The Last of Us Part 2 features some of the largest environments we've ever created. Horseback riding will allow Ellie to quickly cover some of these expansive terrains.
It makes sense.
Some streets are so flooded that a boat is required to navigate them. However, the world of The Last of Us is as lush and inviting as it is deadly. As Ellie uncovers the path to finding those who have wronged her, she must face the many threats of this unknown city. In the wake of the pandemic and the fall of the quarantine zone, Seattle has become a war zone, where two warring factions find themselves in an ongoing conflict for territory and resources. One of these groups is the Washington Liberation Front, otherwise known as the WLF.
WLF.
The WLF are a militia group that began as resistance to the military occupation of Seattle, and eventually wrestled control of the city from them. They are highly trained, organized, and well-equipped with weapons they stole from the army. They occupy much of the city, imprisoning or killing trespassers on sight.
Hey, we got another trespasser. A girl. Did you see her?
On the other side of this bloody conflict is a group of religious zealots called the Seraphites, or Scars, defined by the self-inflicted deep cuts that they bear across their faces. Like the WLF, they're deeply tribalistic and territorial. They're known for being stealthy, using overgrowth as cover, and they use more silent weapons like bows and arrows.
Clip her wings.
Look at that detail. Look at that range.
But beyond this conflict among survivors, the threat that originally brought the world to its knees is very much present. Every human is in danger of falling victim to the infected.
It is ugly.
They are the recently infected runners, who are more numerous and aggressive in this game. The blind but extremely deadly clickers, and the stalkers, who sneak and hide until they're ready to attack, surprising their victims with extreme agility and brutal violence. The Last of Us Part 2 introduces new stages of infected, such as the Shamblers. Large, heavily armored enemies that are covered in pustule. Upon getting close to you, they expel a corrosive spore cloud that burns its victims. But our most terrifying and lethal new forms of infected will have to wait until you play the game for yourselves.
Yeah, that's good. Can't reveal always. Alright, respect that.
Overcoming these threats will require careful consideration of how you approach every combat encounter and how you leverage Ellie's unique skills, equipment, and the environment to your advantage. The WLF patrol the streets of Seattle with guard dogs, which are capable of detecting and following you, even while in cover. They can pick up your scent and alert their handlers to your presence. Listen mode will reveal your scent trail, so keep moving and cause distractions to avoid detection.
Yeah, very interesting.
25 years after the pandemic began, the world is completely overgrown. Use tall grass to hide from enemies and go prone to stay out of sight. However, this form of analog stealth means you're never fully hidden. If enemies get close enough, they can discover you, even in grass. When Ellie is overwhelmed, running away is a viable option. You can also break glass or crawl through tight spaces to find new paths or areas to evade or take on your enemies.
Yeah, nice.
In any given combat situation, you can flee an encounter and re-establish stealth to regain the advantage. If you absolutely have to fight your way out, there are a variety of tools at your disposal. Ellie's more agile than most of her enemies. She can sprint and quickly dodge incoming attacks. Learning how opponents attack with different weapons and mastering the timing of your dodges will prevent you from taking damage and create opportunities to counterattack.
Yeah, nice.
You can use throwable items or well-placed shots to stun enemies before dealing a killing blow.
Yes, that's good.
Or using them as a shield to protect yourself or buy some time to figure out your next move.
Oh, that is ruthless.
Ellie isn't always alone on her journey. Allies will take part in helping you navigate the environments, spot enemies, and meaningfully help you in combat encounters.
Yeah, I mean, this gameplay's looking amazing. There's some different dynamics to how you fight and how you kill enemies and stuff like that, which is, yeah, it's refreshing. Really makes you think on what you need to do and, you know.
Between the human survivors and the roaming infected, there will be times where multiple threats are present, creating new strategic considerations and opportunities. You can choose whether to attack these opponents separately and directly, or find ways to pit them against each other.
What am I gonna do?
Flee as they fight, or wait until their numbers have thinned out and engage with whomever is left.
Oh, very smart. They're running, look at them. Oh.
Our goal is to create unparalleled attention, coupled with deep systems that give you greater control and influence over your journey. As you play, you'll be able to invest in a broad collection of crafting items, weapon, and player upgrades through training manuals scattered throughout the environment and scavenging for ingredients. These skills and upgrade manuals cater to a variety of playstyles, and the choices you make will create your own distinct experience. We also wanted to extend that agency and personalization to your weapons through our new workbench system. Scavenge for parts to modify and improve your weapon's performance and attributes, all of which are visualized and become part of your character.
Alright, seen that in multiple different games, so nothing really new, but we'll see how it interacts with how you play, which is the main thing, I guess.
Survival will also require using the parts and ingredients that you'll find in the environment, which can be crafted into a wide range of defensive and offensive items, like proximity mines, explosive arrows, pistol suppressors,
I
and
guess
more.
the main thing is how easy and quick it is to do. Because if it's hard to do, then a lot of players just rather not do it, like myself, because we're a little bit lazy in that regards. But if it's easier to do, then is that through glass? Oh no, it was explosive arrow though. Damn.
All of these gameplay systems are meant to immerse you in the world and make you feel in lockstep with Ellie's emotional journey.
Which they're really good at capturing too.
As
Yeah,
we've said
looks
before,
badass.
this is Naughty Dog's largest, most ambitious game. It may seem like we covered a lot, but we've only scratched the surface of what it's like to play The Last of Us Part 2. We can't wait for you to experience it all for yourself on June
A lot of
19th.
motion there too, Lordo.
Until then, here's an extended sequence of never before seen gameplay.
Yes. Let's
Enjoy.
go. Alright, look at that water. Look at that water! Anything under there or what? No? I guess in real life there wouldn't be anything under there, would there? Looks like she's using it as more as like a, I guess, cover.
Did you find her yet?
Oh yeah, looks like she's breaking into something.
We're searching the area, just in case she's still around.
I love how ruthless this game is too.
Isaac's not
Nothing
happy.
holding back. That's what I want to see in this game.
Escape.
Just,
The fuck are
I
they
love
talking
how
about?
like it seems like it's one path, but like it's so open in that one path. And for the first one, I just couldn't believe how good that story was. Like that's the main thing that got me going. So it definitely looks like this is, you know, very, very similar in that regard, which is the whole focus. And for this game, I don't think they need to have like another player, like a multiplayer aspect where people are joining your journey, because you really want it to be your journey, you know. You don't want it to be dictated by other people, so I think it's perfect. Stealth takedown. Oh, got headphones in too.
Don't make a fucking sound.
Whoa!
Hands up. Do you know a girl named Nora?
Sure, yeah.
Where is she?
In the hospital.
Where in the hospital?
Yeah, they're clearing out the upper floors. She's somewhere in there.
Oh. Oh, that was ruthless. But
That's dumb.
it's a life or death situation. She coming at you with another knife. Take that little game too, right there. Pocket that. Oh yeah. Got some weapons, some stuff, ammo. So very quiet, which is a little bit scary too.
We're almost wrapped up.
Good. I got my girl waiting for him for Bob.
What was she even doing down there? Keeping watch?
Put you with Joe again?
Upstairs.
Hey, we get the job done.
I bet you do.
Alright, we see a little bit of long grass, which can be tactical.
I'm telling you,
But
man.
you wouldn't really
Data
want to go
soldier.
guns blazing
Makes
here,
these
would you?
shifts so much easier.
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
silencer.
keep
Yep.
that in mind.
Fuck.
Looks like she's got
Sounds
a
like
bow
Scar's
and
really
arrow
close
with some
here.
arrows in the back too, so that's another
Our guys
option.
executing those freaks.
Hey, did you hear why we're all getting called to the pub?
Headshot.
I heard that Isaac wants us to retake all of downtown.
In real life, that would be
Might take
hard
a fight to
to
them.
get, surely.
Oh, no way. Not after what went down last
Now,
time.
what's she gonna do here, though?
Even Isaac isn't that crazy.
That's what I heard.
Stealth kill?
All right, calm down.
Oh, no mucking around. Save those bullets, Gil. machete, it's just a stick. What's she gonna do with a stick? Oh, there we go. Crafted a melee weapon.
Check the whole courtyard. Someone's out there.
See, I mean, it looks quite good how you can really craft stuff on the go by that sort of stuff. That's really a little bit different to some of the other games that I played, which seemed a little bit fake, but this seems actually pretty legit. Oh, good ball. Yeah, very. I like that stealth option actually. Instead of, you know, sometimes I'm a player that just goes in the guns blazing, but when there's a stealth option like this, you know, you always try and hit that stealth option. But so far, I like how she's thinking on her feet. Yep, bow and arrow, there we go. Obviously in a world like this there wouldn't be too many resources, so you would, you know, you wouldn't have a 30 bows and arrows, so
Just like that.
well, you wouldn't have 30 bows, you would have one bow, but you wouldn't have 30 arrows, would you? You wouldn't have many bullets either, I wouldn't. Yeah, there you go, she got 9 bullets. Yes, yeah, I like how interactive that, you know, that sequence is. It's so good.
Saw movement.
I'll go check it out. I got you covered. Holy shit!
Oh!
Shit! Look out! Move! Over here! Drop her now, crook! Asshole!
Oh! Look at that melee weapon too, going hard. So she's going for more of that.
I found her!
Oh. Straight to the Swede. Damn. Alright, now what's she gonna do? There you go. So she's moved into a more of a aggressive approach. And I bet you they're just showing that, like, in this footage, just so you can show you can do it multiple different ways.
Damn it! Find another way off!
Yeah, that was a good little sequence here. Kinda, you know, this is the sort of game that makes you sit on the edge of your seat. Just because you don't know what's around that corner. Alright, what else we got around here? So I think she's trying to find her friend, isn't she?
That you, Nora?
Alright, but the sound's going. There's quite a lot of people down there though.
Happy here.
I'm not stupid. You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this...
I'm getting tired of this.
Nora. Nora!
You wouldn't want to make a sound, would you? Oh, don't make a sound. Here we go. Oh yeah. Not too bad at the moment. What we got there? Bit of duct tape. You don't want to pick that up?
Don't scream.
Oh.
Put that shit down.
Put that shit down. Yes.
You remember me? Yeah. You remember me.
Oh, what does she do? Yes! Last of Us Part 2. There we go. Sweet. What do we think? yeah, look, I'm so excited this coming out, you know, in the next week or so. It's going to be, you know, very immersive, and that's the sort of game I like, and that's the sort of game I'm definitely going to be playing on this channel. You know, a couple of, you know, those parts I'm gonna you know, jam them in a couple of videos for you to see some of the gameplay, the impressions, our thoughts. We'll definitely do a tips and tricks on how to survive in this big open world. So I'm super excited to get that footage down packed. But hey, let's talk a little bit about the environment. Look, I like how you can kind of use a lot of the environment to your like play sort of style. So obviously going through that water like that, needing boats, horseback to reach different certain places, so you're not just walking forever and ever. Being able to, you know, hit different sort of tactics with enemies, which is pretty cool. You can either be the aggressor going in there and just try and pop them all, or you can like really use you know, the things that you pick up in the environment to really craft stuff, which, you know, I think was quite prominent in this clip, where she actually ended up crafting quite a lot of stuff that helped her in certain situations, which I think a lot of the games these days, you know, they make it a little bit too hard to craft, and then, you know, you don't want to craft because it's annoying. But when you're in these sort of situations where you don't have really too many resources, you kind of have to craft to be able to survive, and that's kind of what I'm picking up from this trailer, which I think is pretty good if it's done well, and I think it does look like it's done well. So it's definitely like an aspect I'm looking forward to when getting into this game, is really being able to play around with crafting different sort of stuff to get me out of different situations, which by the looks of it is going to be quite a lot of situations where you're going to be stuck and needing to really, you know, think on your feet and kind of get out of them alive, which is, you know, builds that good anticipation of, you know, what's coming up in the game, and how long and how immersive it is. Like, I think they've really hit it on the head. And, you know, I said from the start, once, you know, playing the first game, if they just make something similar but obviously another part, you know, they're going to do really well. And it looks like they've built on certain aspects of it, which is, you know, to be expected. But usually sometimes you get games where you jam the second one and it isn't as good as the first, because you built up that, you know, that pre kind of thoughts about the game. But I think this is going to be like slotted in so well, and it's really hopefully going to fulfill our needs with this sort of game. And, you know, as I said, I'm very story driven, so I'm excited to see and feel for the character, because that's ideally what you know you want from a game, is you want that connection with that character. You want to feel what they feel, right? So like, you know, definitely having, you know, adverse situations happen to that character really makes you feel that. And I definitely think they're going to have a deep storyline, and that storyline is, yeah, it's going to complement the environments and the way that you survive, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely think like the Infected, you know, they've done well. I'm very excited to see what else they're bringing in terms of Infected and stuff like that. Because we've got the clickers, you know, those clickers, damn, they were scary in the first one, and just as scary in this one, because the game does look quite dark, and, you know, but that's what this survival gameplay is it's very dark, and you want to survive in this. So, you know, I think they've done very well adapting as well. Obviously, you know, they don't have like a live show with lots of people in the audience. You know, they had to pitch this online, which I think they've done quite well with the presentation. Haven't revealed too much really. They've just revealed certain little clips of different situations, which is like this, not even, you know, 1% of what the game's actually going to be like. So I mean, I really enjoyed that little under 1% little clips that I've seen here, so I know that that's going to carry across into the actual game. Now, you know, I'm a trophy hunter, so I'm definitely want to see the trophy list. I want to see how hard it is. When you're jamming these sort of games from the start, you know, you really don't have a trophy list to work off. So, you know, we're going to try our best But we'll have a little research about the trophies, and we'll maybe talk about that in the impression of the game when we get the copy. And yeah, I mean, from this channel, really expect us to have this game playing in a week or so. And you know, we're going to have the impression, we're going to have the tips and tricks to help you survive, to help you kind of keep going. So if you haven't played this before, then you can, you know, watch this guide before you play, and then it should help you into this game. So let us do that for you. But yeah, look, I really enjoyed this footage, and you know, it's so close. So yeah, it's going to be a quick wait, which is awesome. Even though it's been so long since the first game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this PS4 can survive this game. I know PS5 would have been, you know, huge, you know, but it's just come out a little bit too early for that PlayStation 5. But that's all good. We're going to jam it regardless, so we can show you. But yeah, hey, let us know what you think. Comment down below if you enjoyed this game or if you think it's rubbish. You know, there's going to be a lot of different personalities out there that will like the game and that won't. But yeah, definitely hit that like button, subscribe button, bell notification, join the channel. We're going to pump out quite a lot of new reactions as soon as new games, new movies, whatever comes out, we'll be pumping it out. But apart from that, thank you for watching. It's been about half an hour now, which is awesome. Good little time. And yeah, until the next time, thank you. Cha-ching.